What's up everyone, it's the Gaming Goji here, back with even more Godzilla X Kong The New Empire updates. The first reviews are in for the film and they look mixed. Some people in California and many other places in the world have gotten a chance to see the film a bit early, so they put out some initial thoughts of the film and what we can come to expect from it. There are also some really cool promotional things happening all around the world. From London to India and also here in the US, there are a lot of billboards, statues, murals, and full-on displays pretty much taking over. Let's take a look at these new things in today's video. So let's start off with going over some first reviews for the film. The first one here is by Aaron Newworth. They state, Godzilla X Kong hits plenty of sweet spots for me. Tons of wild kaiju action, a brutal villain for Kong, a powered up Godzilla, Dan Stevens having a blast, some legit surprises, and so many colors. Bring me more Monsterverse. This review here seems to be a very positive one, which is good. This review really just talks about the action-packed sequences and the fun people will have watching this film. It also goes into some details like Godzilla's new power-up, which is of course his new forms that he will get, and a brutal villain for Kong, which is the Scar King. It also talks about how Dan Stevens' character Trapper was such a good character in this film. And we see a lot of people praising Dan Stevens for having such a good performance in these reviews. This does give me some hope that he might be one of the best human characters in the Monsterverse. The next review is from Ian Sandwell. They said, Godzilla X Kong The New Empire is the most enjoyable Monsterverse movie yet. The one where it feels everybody understood the assignment. Story is a bit thin, but the Titan smashing more than makes up for it. This review says that Godzilla X Kong The New Empire is the most enjoyable Monsterverse movie yet, which is what to be expected from it since we are getting so many action sequences and other things we have been asking the Monsterverse to give us for such a long time now. It also does say that the story feels a bit thin, which is reasonable because this film will mostly focus on the monsters duking it out. But this reviewer also says that the monster fights make up for it. I was hoping for a good balance between story and monster fights, but either way, I cannot wait to see more of the monster fights in this film. The next review is from Jermaine Lussier. They say, Godzilla X Kong The New Empire is underwhelming. It feels like 90% set up for a final battle that's solid but can't live up to all of that build-up. There is a fresh approach to the characters, which works, but it never quite gels with the main story. Dan Stevens does rip though. So this is one of actually not that many poor reviews for this film. It's clear that this reviewer didn't enjoy the film and thought that most of it would just build up to the final battle, but also that the build-up was not a good one. But they do think that the characters had a fresh approach to them even though their roles never blend in with the main story. This reviewer also states, like the other reviewers stated, that Dan Stevens does have a good performance. We are seeing a lot of praise for Dan Stevens acting in this film, so I can't wait to see it. The next review here is a very positive review by Griffin Skiller. They say, Godzilla X Kong is an atomic blast, a fantastically weird, psychedelic trip through the Showa era with all the vibrance of an 80s album cover. This thing is an absurdist romp. Crimson Apes, Frost Dragons, a delightfully absurd Dan Stevens, another fun entry in the Monsterverse. So obviously this reviewer really enjoyed the film and state that it takes us through the Showa era with all of its fun and fantastically weird action sequences and its overall vibrancy. They also list the many new titans and a certain character that we can all enjoy. Crimson Apes, clearly referring to the Scar King's army, Frost Dragons referring to Shimo, and yet another review praising Dan Stevens, this time calling him delightfully absurd. That review is a really good one and it makes me even more hyped to see this film on the 28th in theaters. The bright colors and vibrancy of this film is going to be something very satisfying to watch, especially knowing that this is a Godzilla and Kong film. Along with the reviews, there's also a massive takeover around the globe with some insane marketing for the film. Let's first go over these cool looking cutouts and light up billboards that were found in California. These look amazing and are definitely gonna get people hyped for GXK. Most of these cutouts come from Los Angeles where a premiere of the film was held. Now let's move on to these stunning murals that were painting on a building sign in India. This was painted by a group of probably really talented people, and it was crazy that they literally painted it on the side of a building with just a plan on how they would do it. And finally, the craziest one out of all, the giant Godzilla and Kong displays in London. First, let's start with the Godzilla one. This really good looking Godzilla evolved was put inside of the river and at night it glows pink. This just looks amazing. And it really brings Godzilla to life as he's swimming in the river, ready to destroy anything ahead of him. There's also a statue of Kong and you can actually go inside of his hand. This statue seems to be depicting the part of the film where he emerges in Egypt to get Godzilla's help. They also made a building that has pink illuminating letters on it saying GXK. With all of these reviews and crazy promotional material coming out for Godzilla X Kong The New Empire, I am more hyped to see this movie in theaters probably more than any other MonsterVerse movie. Before I leave, let me know, when are you going to watch Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire in theaters? I'm gonna be seeing it on opening day, March 28th. Make sure to subscribe because I have a lot more Godzilla X Kong: New Empire content coming out here on the channel after the movie comes out, including my non-spoiler and spoiler reviews. And also make sure to like the video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.